All right, how we doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Good.
Good workout today? Talk to me yourself.
Yeah, positive and negative. A little bit of both. This time of year in fall camp. The good news is the guys are competing. We're not executing at the level where we need to execute right now, and that's about normal for this part of fall camp. The biggest thing is getting short yardage situations. That's what we worked on at the end of practice. We're not as successful as we wanted to be today. Felt like the defense won and the offense kind of gave in a little bit there at the end. So something we'll challenge them, and that's the bad news. The good news is we got a scrimmage tomorrow morning, so don't have very long until we get back out there and get another opportunity and see how the guys respond. And that's what fall camp's all about, is pushing through and being able to come back from adversity and hopefully the guys will respond the right way. We'll find out tomorrow.
You mentioned that it's normal, that there's still a little bit of growth. Given what you guys had coming back, did you hope that would be maybe a little bit above average at this point in time in the development?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you're repping three groups. You got a lot of guys getting reps. Freshmen, there's guys up front, offensive line. Definitely. Our expectation was to do better than we did today. So definitely disappointed in the way that we performed today. And we'll see how we do tomorrow.
This year's offensive line group, who you seen step into Eric McLean's leadership role out there?
Yeah, I think, the best leader we got on the O-line right now is Jake Lermo, and he's been out. And so that's kind of been a challenge for that group of, how they're going to, who's going to lead now that Jay's out. Who's the next guy that's going to get up there and talk, and that's something that Coach Caldwell's really challenging that group to do. That's something that we're still in the process trying to find out who that's going to be. There's no doubt Jay's the clear leader of that group.
What do you think from Simpson so far?
Yeah, we've been really impressed with John. I'll tell you what, he's one of those guys that's shown up on video and go in there and watch. I believe maybe 2 practices ago he got thrown out there and was actually running some with the first group. And, at times looked like he belonged, and at times he looked like he's a true freshman who just got here. But there's no doubt that his arrow is up. Got great feet, really good base. Has a better football understanding than maybe your average freshman offensive lineman, and so far through camp he's done a really, really good job.
What did you see from Jermaine Akers and Sean Collins?
Yeah, those guys were here in the spring, so those guys are a little bit further along than the other freshmen who just got here, and that's typical. But they've had their bright moments and bright spots, and also had some times where they look like freshmen. And that's just part of the battle. That's why you have to go through fall camp. That's why you have to go through the grind and the daily practices. You just got to get thousands of reps and be able to learn from it. But really, we're pleased with that whole group up there. Cade Stewart's done a good job at times. We've seen some good things out of him, and also Chandler Reeves got really good feet, and we're really excited about that entire group of young offensive linemen.
Young Jordan at tight end, some niche guys, and a lot to choose from. Any clarity so far in what you've seen?
No, we really would like somebody to step up and be the clear number 2. They've all kind of had their moments. Nobody's really separated themselves from the pack. That's what these scrimmage opportunities will kind of give those guys a chance to do that. And we're looking for somebody that can really do it all, not just go in on run plays or pass plays, but really develop into a complete tight end. And hopefully we'll see that here as we get ready for some of these scrimmages.
Same question in the quarterback group. What's going on behind Deshaun right now?
Yeah, well, they've all had their times and their moments. I would say Nick Schuster has probably been the most consistent of that group behind Deshaun, day in and day out. But also Kelly's had some good days here in a row. And Tucker Israel has improved from where he was in the spring. And then, after that, I think Zarek, he's a true freshman figuring it out. The one good thing I'll say about Zarek is he doesn't get overwhelmed. That doesn't mean he knows everything and he makes all the right decisions, because he definitely doesn't. But we really like his demeanor. He's steady all the time, never gets too high, too low. It never looks like it's really too fast for him. But now he's got to learn his protections and be able to be more consistent in his throws and all those type of things. But that group's really working. They're competing. And I think again, scrimmage will say a lot towards how far each of those guys have come.
How is decision making for Kelly improved since the spring? Makes a difference.
I think he's gotten better. Still not where he needs to be. I think he knows that, but there's been times where he makes a really good decision. The ball comes out, and you're really excited about where he is. And there's times where he's not letting the ball go. But that's not just to Kelly. That's really all of those guys that are battling in there. I mean, like I said, they're getting a ton of reps out here, and there's plenty good, plenty bad. The biggest thing is, are they making improvement each day that they're out here? And so far, I feel like they are. I feel like they're getting better, but still have a ways to go.
Do you have? He talked about having a clock in his head. But is Streeter or somebody just constantly saying get rid of them? Is there a time limit on how long they have in your pocket?
Yeah, I mean, I think each concept, whether it's drop back, quick game, play action, I mean, everything has a timing to it. It's pretty obvious when you're out here on the field and you go back and watch video. It's pretty obvious when the ball needs to come out, whether it's late or whether it's on time. And if you're late at all, it shows really quick. And so those guys have to have a sense for that, and to be able to be on time with everything that we do. So that's definitely something those guys are conscious of and being coached on.
You mentioned you were disappointed in some things you saw from the offense today. As far as yesterday, was it a win for the offense yesterday? I heard Wayne Gallman had a 99-yard touchdown run. Would you say it was a good day for the offense yesterday?
Yeah, average. We did some good things. We have some good long runs coming off the goal line, but then we had some procedure penalties coming off the goal line. And you're never satisfied as a coach unless you're doing everything right. And there's not many of those days out here in fall camp. I felt yesterday, I thought we did a better job up front and not as consistent in the passing game. We had 9 drop balls yesterday, so that's really what sticks out for me in yesterday. Then, today we threw it and caught a little bit better, but weren't as good up front. And so that's kind of, what your challenge is the guys is, hey, we need to be at our best in all areas, not just, up front one day and then on the skill perimeter the next day. We got to put it all together, and that's what this process is all about, and grinding through that every day.
Talk about Justin Falcinelli stepping in for Jake Guillermo right now. What are you seeing out of Justin?
Yeah, it's still inconsistent. That's our big challenge. We feel like we've got good depth, but they've got to earn that opportunity to be able to go out there if Jay's not in there. And that's the silver lining of Jay being held out a little bit these last few days is to put Jay and those other guys, put Falcinelli and those other guys in that situation, see how they do. At times yesterday, he did a really good job at some things coming off the goal line, and we got to go back and watch the video today. It just didn't seem like we were quite as consistent up there. But as far as the snaps and all that's a lot better, but not quite executing at the level that we want to be at.
Yesterday being the first 2 a day, were you pleased with how the team handled that on a hot day?
No, because I said we had 9 drop balls, and I think a lot of those drops came from guys getting a little hot, getting tired, feeling sorry for themselves, not quite having that edge and concentration that we need. So that's something that we're reminding these guys. They got to push them outside their comfort zone. You're not going to grow as much if you're just out here in your comfort zone. You got to find those last few reps, those last few periods is when you got to be able to be at your best. We talk all the time about finish with no regrets. So that's something we can measure is how are we practicing at the end of practice compared to how we were practicing at the beginning of practice. And that's something we're still working on.